Yo, yo. Episode episode 42 of the Matt Gamble podcast. I think it's been a week. I think it was exactly last Tuesday. I did a pod after a while. It's been a while. Which sort of was the inspiration of jumping back on again this week. From people's feedback of listening was really nice. It was nice to get back into the groove of doing podcasts again, and it'll be nice to consistently keep it back on. For me, after the pod, felt very good. I felt like it was a nice way of allowing myself to speak about what I've moved through. Not get it off me, but just get it out. I'm a big believer of, so obviously speaking your truth. And yeah, I just wanted to express sort of my stuff, because that's the only thing that is true to me, is whatever I'm moving through, same as everyone else. And what I feel as though it allowed people to look at their own stuff, because that's the thing we do in life. We try to avoid our stuff as much as possible. And, it's very easy for us to point and talk about other people's stuff. Very easy. But when you bring up your stuff, it's a whole different ball game. So, surprising of the views, to be honest. In a week, it was nice to see that people were resonating and listening, and it must have been shared or however it was. But yeah, a lot of good feedback. So here I am again today. That was inspiration. And it was funny because at the start of the podcast, I said, it was episode 41. And I said, I've been seeing a lot of 1s and 4s lately. And it was funny, after the podcast, I went down to heat up some food, and on the microwave it said 14. I was like, there we go, 1 and a 4. And then heated up my food, and then I think I went into the toy room. I went to the toilet, and then the toy room's next door, and then it said 41 days till Christmas. And I was like, oh, there we go again. There's another 4 and a 1. Which has been cool, because Janae absolutely loves Christmas, and we started celebrating Christmas in October. We've got 27 elves, 14 Christmas trees, $7,000 worth of Christmas lights, and the list keeps going. Every week I rock up at home, there's a new Christmas toy. So by the looks of things, we're going to celebrate Christmas all year long. But it's cool when you have kids, like, they're stoked. And Indy's at that age now. She's 4. She knows what's going on. She knows Santa's coming through that front door, and he's bringing presents, and he's leaving and we're leaving cookies. And it's cool because Eden's only 2, but she can see, she's obviously following Indy when it comes to Indy knows Santa's coming and stuff like that. So it's a beautiful time of the year. Very blessed for the girls, very grateful. Janae's just, one thing I feel as though I didn't shine a lot of light on last week, because I think it was just me unpacking my stuff, but it's just how grateful I am to have someone like her in my life and in my corner. She keeps it real, and yeah, I just love her so much. We're a good couple. We work well. We've got multiple different roles we play within the couple, whether it's Matt and Janae, mum and dad, business owners, directors, however you want to call it. And so we've learned, it's taken a while, but it's taken a while because it's always work in the sense of, having different roles, especially when you have businesses together, your parents as well as your lovers and friends, and, so we manage it well, in a good place. Busy year, lots been happening, and we've just stuck by each other, and that just builds on the relationship. So, you think relationships can't get any better, but when you move through something with your partner, it obviously just adds another layer to, you guys knowing that you can work through whatever and get through it. So I'm excited to eventually get guests on. Just settling into the energy, I think, of the house, doing solo pods for now, but I'll line up some guests soon to drop in with, which will be nice, bouncing off someone. Even though solo podcasts they're not really difficult or anything, because I just literally speak of whatever comes up. There's no hiding that, and that was the goal of these type of podcasts, is to talk about whatever's happening, whatever my truth is in the moment. And something that's been coming up for me a lot lately is just having the ability to accept when you're in something, and I want to break down what I'm talking about, being in it and seeing it, and then I'll sort of overview it and then dive deeper. Is that accepting when you're in something, and accepting that you're in it for a reason, otherwise you wouldn't have been caught in it. But then having the ability and the awareness to then see it. So there's a difference between being it and seeing it. And what I mean by that is, when you're caught in it, it might mean anything in general. So, you're caught in a thought about work, you're caught in a thought about family, or, you're playing victim mode because you feel like you've had a big day, or, it's when you're in it. And, when you're in it, you think you are it. And the mind will start playing all these games. How's it going to play out? What's going to happen? How's it going to look in 2 weeks from now? What happened if I did that instead? That's all the in it stuff, and it's like you're like asleep. When nothing worse than when you're caught up in something that's happened. Say, for example, you and someone have had something go on, and for the next 2-3 days, you're just walking around, you're still moving, but you're just in it still, And for me, jumping on this self-development journey, I thought there was going to become a place where I would be able to go to where I would never be caught in it again. And fuck, wasn't I wrong? Because you will always still get caught up in it. It'll always still wrap itself up differently, and then you're in it, and then the mind, the chatter, as we spoke about last week, the ego, the mind will just start feeding it. It's like, yes, we're in it, let's go. It's being caught up in your head. That's what I'm talking about, being in it, caught up in it, and that's when the ego will go, well, what's going to happen? How's it going to play out? How are they going to react? What happens if this happens? Have I covered all bases of what could happen? And do I have an answer for everything? Can I, whatever it is, and the mind will just run and run and run and run. And it might be something that's supposed to happen in 3 weeks from now, and your body doesn't actually know whether it's in it or if it's 3 weeks out from it, and you when you're in it, it's hard to see that you're in it. But if you're not being able to be present, and it's not like, and like I said, still get caught up in it. Something might happen at work, and I'll be at home with the girls, and I'm trying to I'm with them, but I'm not with them. I'm in it. I'm in my own head. Things are going on. I'm rationalizing. I'm working it out. I'm planning it out. I'm scheduling it. I'm protecting all covers. I'm, coming up with a solution for every outcome. And the universe is just watching you be in it, being like, dude, just relax. Relax back into this moment. Come back to this moment. This is the only moment that's real. And what I've started to feel is that, you can build on your practices. And for me, it's meditation. That's the thing that I do daily. I've incorporated reading again, be very mindful of the time I spend on my phone, which will always and still is the hardest one of them all. Focusing on my breath. Whenever I get a chance to walk outside, I'll take a big, deep breath, because that's, when you take a big, deep breath, you're being present in the moment of knowing that you are here now. And just all those little things, making sure I train every day, making sure I eat healthy, Radox baths, get good night's sleep, eat good food, all that stuff, keeps me on top of having the ability to get out of it and start to see it rather than be in it. Now, so not only did I have a thought once upon a time that I was going to never be caught up in it, because we're human and we're here to learn lessons and live our life and go through some shit. You know, it'd be boring if we didn't. What would I be talking about if I didn't go through some shit? So it was not only that, but then also I got caught up in like, all right, I'm in it. How quickly can I get out of it? Like, I need to get out of it now. And that's where resistance comes. I just got to get out of my head. All right, I'll do all my practices. And nothing worse than doing all your practices and still being in it. And it's like, when for me now, when I'm in it, and I'm in it for probably a little bit too long than I would like, one, I start to take accountability of why I'm in it. And then I start to ask myself a question. All right, what's this showing me? What lesson am I learning from this? Or what lessons can I take from this? Okay, cool. You got caught up in it. Now, did you speak your truth when it came to all that stuff? Are you being a little bit impatient? Are you trying to work something out that has nothing to do with you? And you start to sort of question yourself and ask yourself these questions, which is very important to then come to the place of seeing and being like, there we go. That makes sense. And, you know, and by you owning your stuff and being able to look at your stuff consistently and not running away from it gives you the ability to be able to start to see it more often. Oh, look at me. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I can see what's going on now. I'm getting caught up in victim mode because life's so hard because this has happened. But there's people over in Gaza fighting for their life, or, you know, or something, you know, and it's very easy to get caught up in it. But with the tools and practices, you know, that you can incorporate in your life gives you the ability to be able to start to see it. Yeah, you're right. And it's like you just have that conversation with yourself. Go for a walk, get out in fresh air. Don't distract yourself on social media or porn or, you know, being on your phone or doing all the, you know, pokies, drugs, alcohol. There's so many numbing devices out there that just don't give you the ability to look at it. It just covers it up, you know, and we're just going to put that there because we're not going to look at it. But when you can start to take accountability for your stuff and start to own your stuff, you know, it was like last week, it was, you know, I'm proud of myself for being very courageous of going, I'm going to press fucking record and I'm going to spit bars of whatever comes out, you know, and the ego will say, don't talk about that, you know, and I obviously touched on it last week, but I feel so much better that I have the ability to speak my truth and own my stuff. And the more and more people out there that can do that, and obviously if you're listening, you're on some sort of development journey to look at your stuff. And don't get, and that's another thing too, I might segue a little bit here, is just don't try your hardest to not get caught up in other people's stuff. It's not your stuff to look at. You've got enough on your plate. We all do, trust me. Why can't they be like that? Why are they acting like that? Why can't they see it the way I see it? Why can't they just do this? Why can't they just be like that? That stuff there isn't yours, you know, and there's so many times that we can point the finger and question, why can't they just be a bit more patient with me? Why can't they, you know, just tell me this? Why can't they just start to be like this? Because, you know, this is the right way. You know, I know the way. And it's like, you know your way. And that's the only thing that you got to focus on is your way. Let everyone else worry about their stuff. Like, everyone's on different paths. Everyone's on different paths of their journey in this development space. And it's about allowing them to just have compassion and understanding that not everyone sees this world the way you do. First thing, because everyone's out there on social media trying to fight. How cool is that? I just looked down at the time. It was 1444. Boom. How many times are people fighting to be seen and to know everyone, not everyone, but a lot of people out there are fighting to be this thing to let everyone know that they know the way, you know? This is the way it's supposed to be. Trust me, I know. It's like You know your stuff, and that's all you got to focus on. So, and when it comes, and again, a lot of it comes back to family and friends and people around you that you want to be a certain way, and it literally has nothing to do with you. So the more that you can just let it go and let them just be them, you know, love them for who they are, love them for whatever they know, and because it's not your stuff. And if someone tries to put their stuff on your stuff, just accept it. Okay, cool. You're at the part of the journey that you're still blaming everyone, or you're at the part of the journey that you're still playing victim mode of thinking that the whole world's against you, and you blame everyone and it's everyone else's problem. And if they did that, and if they didn't do that, and if they were like this, then this would be this. It's like, let them play that story. It's not your story to feed. And if you start feeding it, that means you're in it. You put yourself in it. No one else put you in it except you. So take that accountability. And then you start feeding that. So a big thing for me lately is accepting everyone as they are and what they're about, what their beliefs, their systems, their stories, their programming. No one has lived this world the way you've lived it. So no one's going to see this world the way you see it, and that's one thing you have to accept moving forward in life with family, friends, anyone around you, rather than pointing the finger of like, why can't you be like this? Why shouldn't you think like this? Why can't you be like, just, it's got nothing to do with you. You've lived this world there's one of one. You've lived this world one way, and no one else has lived the exact same life as you. So you see this world one way, and everyone else sees it a completely different way. And that's okay too. Let everyone be who they are, and just take accountability for your stuff. Because the more that you can free yourself from your stories, the more there's so much more peace that can come. Like me freeing myself up from all that stories, hit financial struggles this year, business struggles, stuff in relationships, like friendships and losing friends, and, owning my stuff with it and all that. That was all my stuff, and it was all still wrapped up for me. Like it was still sort of sitting there. It wasn't until last whatever day I did the pod and I let it all out. It was, this is my sort of outlet. Like I get a lot of freedom doing these podcasts and getting my stuff out on the table. So it was such a liberating feeling for me. And, it's such a beautiful thing being on this self-development journey, because you can start to, live more peacefully, show more gratitude for the little things in your life that like you are literally here now. Like there's no time coming. There's no time that's going to come back. We can't fast forward. We can't rewind. We just got to press play and be here, and it's so important to just fully be in the moment. And it's fucking hard. Like it's hard because the mind will not stop telling you a story. But the more you can just keep coming back, do the things that allow you to be present, like, breath work, meditation. Because when I meditate, my mind will go, well, you better fucking get up. You got that meeting in an hour. How are you going to be able to meditate quickly, get your bag packed and get there before that time? And then it's like, I come back. Really? We're going to meditate now? Like, do you need to? We don't need to. We can just get up and go. Like, what are you doing? We're going to keep moving. We're going to keep doing things. And I'm like, and then I come back. And it's like, do you have to go to the shops later? Because you have to go to the shops later. You got work. And how are you going to, you don't want to get home too late because you won't see the girls because they're going to go to sleep. So, you might have to quickly rush. And it's like, then I come back. And then it just gets quieter. You got to make sure that you go out there and, and then the mind just stops. And then I'm just fully in the moment. And it's such a beautiful feeling because there's so many ways you can do this. But it's up to you. If you're listening to this, it's clear to know that you're on some sort of development journey, which I'm so proud of you for being present with me in this conversation. Ask yourself the question now. We're 20 minutes deep. Time flies when you're having fun, but how present have you been in this podcast? Are you racing around doing things, trying to get two things done at once? Now, listening to podcasts and cooking food and going for a walk, beautiful multitasking tactics, or driving and you're listening, But you got to ask yourself, how many stories have come up in these last 20 minutes for you? You know, maybe stories have come up because I've brought stuff up, which is great. But you know, if you haven't noticed a story go on in your mind about something that you need to do or something you haven't done, that's great. Fucking welcome to the present moment, the only thing that's real. Nice for you to join us. You know, and the mind will just run. So just like, and I'm going to keep repeating that weekly. It's like, just let it run. Like, what stories are you telling yourself at the moment? Like, fuck, we've got Christmas in 3 weeks. Have you done it? Like, are you going to get everything done? Like, when has it ever not worked out? And I ask myself this if I'm caught up too far in it. It's like, when has the universe let me down when I've moved through something with good intention? And it always comes back to your intention. If you're moving through things with bad intentions, then the universe will throw some karma your way. But if you're moving through life with good intentions, you want to serve, you want to help, you want to have peace, you want to have happiness, you want to share love, you want to be abundant, you want to show empathy and compassion for people, you want to celebrate, you want to be there, then the universe will always have your back. It never lets you down, ever. But when something you want to go your way and the universe is like, not today, and you get caught up in victim mode, that's your stuff. You've put yourself there, you know. Hand it all over. Like, they say the quote, get out of your own way. It's such a powerful quote because it's so true. Get out of your own way. Hands up, you know. And that doesn't mean sit at home and meditate all day and hope that the universe comes down from the fucking sky and drops a little present on your front doorstep of $1 million. It's the fact of, I'm going to get out of my own way, but I'm going to intentionally take action through the way that I feel as though is the right way. What I feel as though is the right way, not think. I feel like I'm destined, like today, I feel like I wanted to do a podcast. And the ego's like, oh, well, you know, you're hungry. You know, you probably want to meditate. The girls are dancing. You're going to have time to be able to do all this? Like, you know, and I'm like, yes, because I feel like it's the right thing to do. Cool. That's what I'm moving through, something. But if I started doing the podcast and my phone rang and I had to go to the shops or something come up, rather than getting resistant with that, being like, fuck, I was supposed to do a podcast. That was supposed to happen. And the mind will play that story. This person called me and told me I've got to go here because I forgot. You know, I was supposed to do a podcast. How am I going to do it? When am I going to do it now? Everyone's going to think, it's like, shut the fuck up. Okay, cool. I thought I was supposed to do a podcast. The universe has other plans. Acceptance. And once you can accept, okay, cool. That didn't go the way that I planned. I probably wouldn't have picked that way, but I can accept it because that's the way it's going. You can't fight fate. If the universe is moving you in a certain direction and you're swimming against stream, it's either float and chill and relax and enjoy the like, I'm in a lake now. You want to cruise down the lake? Stop swimming upstream, trying to fight to get to a different destination. The universe is moving you in one way. And it never lets you down when you move with good intentions. How many times have you thought something was supposed to go a certain way and you were fixed on it? Like fully attached and fixed on knowing that it has to go this way. If it doesn't go this way, ooh, you better watch out. Brother, I'm fucking going to town. And it doesn't go that way, and you kick and you scream and you claw and you fight and you get angry and you're in your head and you think and you think and you think and you think and you think. Then 3 weeks goes by and you stop thinking about it and you look around and you go, oh, fuck, this makes sense. This was supposed to go this way. I get it. I can see it now. Wow. How much did I fight for like 2 weeks there of being in it, thinking it was supposed to go a certain way, and then the universe has, you know, done it this way, and now look at it. Wow, it always works itself out, huh? It's like, so when you do think you're supposed to go a certain way and the universe moves you in another direction, fucking first thing I say is accept it. Okay, cool. You can still say, hey, fuck, wouldn't want it this way. But sooner or later, something will shine because the sun always shines and the stars always rise. There's always a new day. There's always new opportunities. And you know, for me, a little visualization, I like that stuff, is like, I'm like Pac-Man. Like, I'm still moving, but sometimes I get to a roadblock and then I just turn the other way. It's like, you don't just sit there and just, well, you know, I wanted it to go this way and it's not supposed to go this way. Well, then I'm just going to sit still and just see what happens. Like, no, brother, keep fucking moving. You know, you don't stop moving with good intentions. Just accept when things don't go the way that you think they should go, because there's a power out there that's higher than you and me that controls all that. It's God's business. Let God work it out. Let the universe play itself out. You just keep moving with good intentions. It's like you just enjoy the dance. Enjoy the dance of life. Whatever song comes on next, possibly wouldn't have picked this song, but you know what? I'll dance to it. Where if you're going to stand there with your arms crossed being like, I'm not going to dance until this song comes on, you're going to be standing there for a while, and, you know, you're going to look awkward on the middle of the dance floor if you're not dancing. You know, you might just bop side to side. Okay, cool. This song's on. Don't love it, but it is a song that's on. So I'm just going to enjoy it for now. Maybe a song comes on a bit better that I like. There we go. Another analogy. Fuck, 26 minutes. I want to keep these solos a bit, you know, just short and sharp, spit some fire, because I know sometimes it's very easy to get caught up in a thought when you see it for like 40 minutes or an hour. It's like, fuck, Campbell, just give me the juice and let me fucking go on with my day. So, episode 42. Please like and share if you like it, resonates, whatever. Please share it with people. You know, obviously that stuff, that energy feeds back into me, which makes me want to do this stuff more, because I feel as though that's sort of like the energy exchange that I need to get to, is when I can deliver, it comes back. So the energy back to me, if this has served you, is let me know what come up for you. Let me know if there's things you want me to bring up, or there's things that you're moving through that, you know, you sort of want a bit of stuff on, and I can bring up whatever it is and unpack it and go through it and see what comes up for me. But yeah, wishing you all the most amazing day. It's the end of November. Where the fuck did this year go? I swear we're putting up the Christmas. Well, I say that I swear we're putting up the Christmas tree only a couple of months ago, but it's probably because in my household we start celebrating Christmas in June. Is probably why it's only been a couple of months. But I'm wishing you all the most amazing day. It's a rainy day here in Sydney on a Tuesday, you know, and same thing. You accept when it rains, you accept when it's sunny. The world doesn't stop moving, only you do. So it's up to you if you want to keep moving and vibrate on that nice energy, or you're going to sit still on the park bench and play victim mode. You know, the universe is like, you want to sit. If you want to move, move. And like I said last week, this life is worth living. You should give yourself a bit of gratitude, a bit of empathy, knowing that you're doing your best. That's all we can do. Some days it's better than others. Some days it's not. Accept it for what it is. We're the only ones that put resistance on ourselves, no one else. So I love you all. Matt Gamble Podcast, episode 42, over and out. Until next time. Peace.